Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. So last time I had a bit of a lazy episode. I just did a couple of little things with some plants. Said I was going to do some stuff in between time, and I have actually. I've made myself a fluid solid canning machine. I've also put this reservoir here, added another reservoir over here. Just some housekeeping sort of stuff. Made an alloy smelter as well. Nothing too exciting, just all things that we're going to need going forward. So today what I'm thinking of doing is we'll get some runoff happening. So how to deal with excess items with logistics pipes and storage drawers. So we've got ourselves a recycler. I've made myself another MFE. I've got sort of all these bits and pieces that we're ready to use. Now I was going to put the MFE over here somewhere. Look, for now, let's just put them there. I've made all the bits we're going to need. So hopefully, oops, wrong thing. That one. So let's throw that there, throw a wire to there, yes. So this will at least give us some power. I've made a bunch of cables as well. Seeing as we've got heaps of diamonds and things now, I made a bunch of glass fiber cables. All very nice. So what I'm wanting to do is put our recycler over here. Now I am going to have to, yeah, let's put them there. We've got power, cool. Now let's just see how we go with some, oh, I think I made a chest for it. There's some runoff stuff, some dirt that's really, really crappy dirt. That stuff. I'm not even sure if this can be recycled, to be honest. Let's have a look. Can it? Yes, yes it can. Cool. So one of the things that I also made, because we made this canning machine and with the water hooked up, some of you may have guessed, I wanted some overclockers because, yeah, I'm sick of waiting for things taking too long, especially with that hammering item and stuff. Cool, and we're getting some of that. So we can put that in there. 4 of those should be good for now. How much power are we generating? Yeah, we're still gaining power, so that's cool. So that should be enough for that. Now, how to get the stuff into it. So we've made ourselves some logistics pipe stuff. We've got some transport pipes, some other bits and pieces here. We're going to need one there. I wonder if we could put the extractor in the same thing. Interesting. Might have to try that. So there's that there, and we're going to have to run this all the way over. Now, we're going to run off this, I think. That might be a good way to do it. Somewhere nice and high. Oh, into the trees. Okay, we're going to not want to get into the trees. And, well, this is a bit, no, I've got to be careful not to land on top of that, because that is going to be nasty if we do. It'll eat me alive. This is going to be a really rubbish sort of way of doing this. That's alright. Awesome, connected. Now, we don't want that, we don't want that, and don't want that. Cool, so one of the things I'm going to be using with this is, there's a module called the Terminus Module. So we're going to need some purple, some iron, and some modules, as well as some black. Now, let's just... So to make purple, we're going to need, let's make a few of these, red. So we're going to need blue and red, purple dye, excellent. We're going to need, that goes there, purple dye goes on that side. Now, ink on the other side, and one of those on the other side. So that one goes there, that one goes there. Terminus Module. And let's make a couple of those. Extractor. Yeah, cool. We've got an extractor. Let's grab one of those as well. Now, what are the things that we're going to run into here? So what Terminus does is, it's not a default route, but it is one higher than the default route. So if we choose for these terminated items to go into here, we can do things like, let's choose something that's full. So say this here, we've got 512 wheat already. Now this is the bit that I'm unsure of. So we're going to grab that, and that. This is going to be an interesting experiment. So the reason this is an interesting experiment is because it'll only put items here if they can't go anywhere else. So we're going to put those 4 there because they're all from the same storage drawer. And what we're also going to see is that this has got a void upgrade on it. So the void upgrade may make it so that it's always going to accept items. So let's just go on order. No, not those. These will do. Pumpkins are good. Some wheat's good. And then we run over here and have a look. And nada. Right, so nothing's going through there because it says it can still accept items. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take the upgrade off that. So we take the void upgrade off, which means stuff should now be bouncing around. And hopefully, woohoo! So we end up with our pumpkin and all those bits and pieces coming here. Now, we're also going to want to have our extraction of scrap. We're going to need to find a spot for the scrap for a start. So where can we put that? Let's put scrap up there. In fact, let's put the void upgrade on that one. And now all we need to do is add one of these to there. We should have our scrap. Oh no, yeah, we haven't got our extraction upgrade. There we go. Cool, so now we have all the surplus going out to here, which means that, yeah, cool. That works well. That works well. So the only thing that I was worried about with this is we can use this for a few different things. So we want to make dirt for a start. So we're going to make another terminus over here by these barrels, and we're probably going to redirect those plants there. I don't think you can have 2 terminus modules with the same stuff in it, but we can always turn everything into dirt in the first place, as long as our dirt farm is fast enough, and then put all the surplus dirt over here instead. Although it's not a very efficient way of doing it. I guess we could put redstone and things over there instead. Anyway, leave it with me. I am going to run away for a little bit and build a few more things, because we'll come back and see if we can't get this dirt thing happening as well with an extra terminus module. But for now, that is actually working really, really well to start building our scrap up. Oh, this is going to be a problem. We're going to need a hopper or something on top of there as well, and maybe a chest and a hopper. All right, I'll be back in just a moment. We'll rejig this and we'll do some work for some stuff over there, and that will be a nice little 2-part episode. So see you in just a second. Alrighty, we are back, and I've made a few more things as well as getting rid of the barrels from over here. I've made quite a few more barrels and decided on how we're going to do this. That isn't going to cost us too much, because that was one of my main concerns. So anyway, what we're going to do is put some stuff down out here. Probably in the ground, potentially. So let's go for here. Now, how many is that? That's 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 18. Yeah, one more. So what we're going to have is there's going to be a chest at the end to receive the dirt there, and there's going to have to be hoppers leading back to it. Now hoppers I've found are the best way to get stuff out of the oak barrels. Let's just do that many for now. What we can do is put these like that. And I've also found the best way to get stuff into the barrels is with these transfer pipes instead, because otherwise it just gets ridiculously expensive on all the logistics pipes, bits and pieces that you need. If you just put normal pipes into their normal, like these golden pipes onto here, there is a chance that items will just get spat out on the floor, and we don't really want that. So what we're going to do is there will be a chassis there with our extractor in it, and we're going to have a chest like here maybe? Nope. We need to have a chest. We need to have a chest so that we can put our transfer node on the end of it. I wonder if we can just do that anyway. Oh, now we've done it. So we have a chest there, and our node there. Yeah, cool, awesome. So this should now put any organic material into there. So if we can go over here, let's just try and beat the harvester to it. So we can put that in there. There we go, fills the first one. That's obviously not going to get anywhere until it gets to dirt, but that's cool. So that's there, that's there. Let's just put this sideways for argument's sake. And we're going to have another logistics chassis there. And this is where we're going to put our Terminus Module. And then start connecting this up. Now every junction needs to have one of these logistics pipe at it. There we go. Awesome. So now we can just configure the Terminus module. Now this is the bit that I'm not entirely sure about. What happens if we put the same items in two different Terminus modules? So we're going to have pumpkin, wheat, carrot, and potato. Oops, drop potato out. Now I'm picking that what's going to happen is it'll go to the closest one. And maybe not. Let's order some more of this. There you go. Now that's interesting. It's going straight to the other one, which is probably the first one I configured. So maybe internally in the programming logic I think internally in the programming logic it's going to want to go to whichever the first one is that I placed, not the one that's closest. That's interesting. Good to know. So you can actually make stuff go further away if you want it to. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to take stuff like these diamonds. Those are being made. Those are being made as well. These are going to be really expensive items to be scrapping, but we do need to have... Right, so as you can see here, this is what I've done as well to try and cope with any backlog that happens. We've got a chest here as a buffer, and then our little hopper going down to the recycler. Of course, we have to have these facades on the back side just to stop it from connecting. What we'll do now is we'll go into here. We'll have redstone, that diamond, and the lapis. Move my thing around. Let's just throw those ones in there. Cool. So that's now humming away, and we should start getting more of the organics over this side. Let's grab our watering can. Hey, there we go. So now we start to get that stuff going in there. Oh, we've had one finish already. What we might do is just take the extractor out of there for now, just so we can see how much dirt's coming through. That's happening there. We're also going to need sugar, glowstone. No, not glowstone. We're going to want the rotten potatoes, that, and that. So these 4 as well should be enough. Although, yeah, I'm just wondering, does the green stuff even go in there? Cactus, there. Cactus green, doesn't. So we need to make sure there's no cactus green there. Poisonous potatoes definitely do. Cactus. Yep, cactus does, and the sugar does as well. So this cactus green we can actually go and put over on our other one, as well as an overflow, since we can't use it for anything else. Awesome, so that's happening there. Scroll down here. Now, how much scrap have we got? We've got 66 scrap. You probably can't quite see it there, but it says 66. That's quite a few already. This is now making away, and we have dirt already. So we're filling all the way back actually. So yeah, this is probably going to be more than enough barrels to cope with everything, especially when we don't have. I don't think there's any other organics here that are going to be put into there. I sort of wanted to over-engineer it just to make sure that everything was going to be running okay. Now we're going to need our extractor back in there. What else can we do? We can grab that dirt there. Send this to the recycler. This coarse dirt that we don't really care about. Throw that in there. There. And that's pretty much it. So now we've got a couple of different places for things to go. All the stuff that we are surplus, we can just throw in that Terminus module. And once we fill it up, we can put another Terminus module in there and just keep throwing Terminus modules in there, I guess. We may want to put an upgrade on this, or potentially move the scrap into its own little storage drawer somewhere with a bigger capacity, just so that we can, deal with having a lot of scrap. But that should be all well and good. Even a compacting drawer might be good for scrap, because yes, we can use scrap boxes as well. So I might do that off camera between now and next time. We'll put a compacting drawer in, put all the scrap in there, and that way it'll automatically get turned into the scrap boxes. Cool. Well, that I think is going to be it for us. That's a nice sort of system. It's working well for Overflow. It's one of the things I've always struggled with, usually struggled with Overflow with logistics pipes, just because, I've just always struggled with it. But that seems to be working really well. Anyway, that is all from me. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.